7 million years ago, in what is now one of the hottest, driest places on Earth, the world looked nothing like it does today. Northern Chad wasn't a desert, it was a mosaic of lakes, forests, and open woodlands. And somewhere in that landscape walked a creature that might just be the oldest member of our human lineage. Today we're talking about Sahelanthropus tchadensis, possibly the first known hominid, dating to around 7 to 6 million years ago. This species sits right at the edge of the human chimpanzee split, and depending on who you ask, it's either a genuine early ancestor or a misunderstood side branch. Let's dig into it. In 2001, in the Jurab Desert of Chad, a team led by Michel Brunet uncovered a fossil skull, a cranium so fragile and distorted from millions of years underground that it took years to analyze. They nicknamed it Toumaï, meaning hope of life in the local Dazaga language. What made this discovery so special wasn't just the age, although 7 million years is jaw dropping. It was the location. Most early hominids were found in East Africa, Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania. Chad is way out west in comparison. That alone challenged the idea that early human evolution was centered only in the Rift Valley. If Toumaï really is a hominin, it means our story began across a much wider area than we once thought. So let's take a look at Toumaï itself. What did this thing actually look like? The skull is small, around 350 cubic centimeters, basically chimp-sized, but that's expected for something this old. There are a few features that do stand out. One, small canine teeth. In great apes, males usually have long, sharp canines for displays and dominance. In Toumaï, canines are much more reduced, and this tends to continue in later hominins. Two, it's got a relatively flat face, unlike chimpanzees who have projecting muzzles. Toumaï's face is much shorter and more vertical. Not modern human flat, but moving in that direction. Three, it's got thick brow ridges. This guy would have had a serious unibrow. A massive continuous ridge, even larger in some later hominids. Four, evidence of bipedalism. And here's the big debate. Was Toumaï actually walking upright? The original team argued yes, based on how the skull connects to the spine. The foramen magnum, a hole where your spinal cord enters the skull, appears to sit forward enough to support upright walking, but some researchers disagree. They argue the skull is too distorted to read the position clearly, and without leg bones, confirming bipedalism is tough. As you can see here, the chimpanzee, modern human, and the Sahelanthropus skulls, the foramen is in some pretty different places. But compare the chimpanzee to the Sahelanthropus. Does it sit as far back, or does it sit more forward like the human skull? Without a complete, total skull, it'll be hard to tell, but it seems like the evidence might be there. In 2022, new analysis of Toumaï's limb bones were published, suggesting a mix of bipedal walking and climbing, a lifestyle similar to early Ardipithecus. So did Toumaï really walk on two legs? Probably, at least some of the time, but this debate isn't going away anytime soon. To understand Toumaï, we have to understand his world. 7 million years ago, Africa wasn't the Africa we know. The Sahara Desert didn't exist. Instead, northern Chad was a lush environment with wetlands, rivers, open woodlands, patches of forest. This habitat is important because it suggests early bipedalism didn't necessarily evolve in open savannas. If Toumaï was moving upright in a mixed environment, it supports the idea that walking on two legs wasn't just about running across the grasslands. It may have helped with reaching for food, wading in shallow waters, energy efficient movement, or even body temperature control. It also shows how flexible early hominids might have been, bipedal when useful, climbing when needed. So here's where things can get a little spicy. Sahelanthropus sits right around the estimated time of the last human chimpanzee common ancestor. That makes it extremely important and extremely controversial. Some researchers argue that it's a direct human ancestor. Toumaï has reduced canines and hints of bipedalism, both strong hominin traits. Others say it's a very early side branch. It could be close to our lineage, but not actually part of it. Another option, that it's an early gorilla ancestor. A few paleoanthropologists actually think Toumaï belongs closer to gorillas based on some skull features. And the truth is, we don't have enough fossils to be certain yet. But here's the key point. Even if Sahelanthropus isn't the first hominin, it's incredibly close to whatever species was. It represents a population living right around the most important evolutionary split of our entire lineage. Whether Toumaï was our direct ancestor or not, the species changed how we think about early hominid evolution. Africa was more diverse than we thought. Chad shows early hominins lived across the continent, not just in the Rift Valley. Bipedalism might have emerged earlier than we assumed. If Toumaï walked upright, that pushes bipedal origins close to 7 million years ago. The common ancestor wasn't ape-like in the way many expected. Smaller canines and a flatter face. These hint that we can't imagine our last common ancestor as a modern chimp. Early human evolution was braided, not linear. Multiple species existed at the same time. Some survived, most didn't. Toumaï represents one of the early experiments. So, where does that leave Sahelanthropus? It's old, it's controversial, it's incomplete. It might, just might, represent the very beginning of the human story. But here's what I love about Toumaï. It reminds us that human evolution is messy, surprising, and constantly being rewritten. A single skull in the Chadian desert challenged decades of assumptions about where we came from. As more fossils turn up, we might discover that the earliest part of our lineage wasn't a straight line, but a whole branching web of species trying out new ways of living. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the oldest possible hominids, hit subscribe for more episodes of Fossil Matrix. Next time, we're moving forward a couple million years to Auroran tchadensis, an early candidate for the title of first hominin.